My dear friends, let's take some tzedakah, and let me share with you some thoughts on the Pirkei Avot. This week we are learning the third perek of Ethics of the Fathers, and I want to pick on a Mishnah which is actually the ninth Mishnah. Rabbi Chanina ben Dossa says, "Kol sheyiras cheto kedemes lechachmasoi, chachmasa miskayemes." Anyone whose fear of sin precedes his wisdom, and as the commentators explain, we're not talking just preceding in chronological order, but we're talking preceding in importance, in priority. When the person's priority is have the fear of sin, meaning the fear of God, not concerned about the fear of punishment of the sin, but the fear of just the sin of doing this which is inappropriate. Fear of being connected to evil, not, again, as I said, for the punishment. But so a person who has this level of fear, yiras hachet, so to say, the fear of the sin in itself, and this is before, in priority of his knowledge, of his chachma, and we're talking chachma, knowledge of Torah, then we can be sure that chachmasa miskayemes, his wisdom will last. Because if he doesn't have this godly fear of sin, then unfortunately even his wisdom of Torah will disappear. Rabbi Chanina ben Dossa is the one who says that because he lived by that. It wasn't just a statement that he said. His entire life was Yirat Shamayim, fear of heaven, fear of sin. And Rabbi Chanina ben Dossa was also known to be a man living by miracles, making miracles. To him was a miracle was just about the natural thing. Many stories that the Talmud relates, such as once Erev Shabbat, before candle lighting time, and the daughter suddenly made a mistake, and she prepared the candles for Shabbat, and instead of putting in oil, she put in vinegar. And it's already time for lighting Shabbos candles, and she's all distressed. Her father sees her and says, "My daughter, what's the matter?" So she tells him, says, "What are you worried about? The one who said that oil can burn will say that vinegar will burn." And they lit the vinegar, and it burned. Another story, they were extremely poor. The poverty in the home was frightening that sometimes it was literally not a morsel of bread. One particular Erev Shabbos, there's nothing, there's not a stitch of flour, there's nothing to bake. But the Rebbitzin, the wife, didn't want anybody to know of their misery and their plight, because at no point will they accept anything from anybody else. So the neighbors shouldn't think that there's nothing cooking, so she put some straw in the oven, so there should be smoke, and people should think, yes, she's baking, she's cooking. A neighbor that knew about the poverty of Rabbi Chanina, and she was an evil woman, and she wanted to go enjoy and see the poverty. So she knocked at the door, and Rabbi Chanina's wife, seeing who is coming, she ran away out of embarrassment. But then lo and behold, she went to the oven, and a miracle happened. There were loaves of challah suddenly appeared, while she was just putting straw to burn so there should be some smoke. So she saw the challahs in the oven, and they're getting ready, so she started screaming, calling Rabbi Chanina's wife, "Come quickly, take out the loaves of challah because they're getting burned." Rabbi Chanina ben Dossa. But one time, says the Gemara, the hunger was so painful that she begged her husband, "Do something, pray to God that he should send us some food." And suddenly, miraculously, a big foot of a table of pure gold came down. Baruch Hashem. But then at night she dreamt that she saw the sages sitting at golden tables in Olam Haba, in the world to come, in Gan Eden, in paradise. And they all had 3 feet, table is on 3 feet. And her husband's table only had 2 feet. And she realized that this must be the leg that came from heaven. So she turned around to her husband. I certainly don't want we should lose, you should lose, we should lose the heavenly reward. Please pray to God he should take it back. And indeed that's what happened. And as the Rebbe explains, the miracle of taking back is even greater than the miracle from sending it down. Because what he has accomplished to do is to transform a piece which now is a plain physical piece of gold and returned it into a heavenly reality.